Hello, Fixsters. Tonight we're going to be doing the tasting of our first main crop of the year, and that is Floria, the Floria fig. Floria is an early season variety, Serbian origin, cold hardy. In fact, we don't protect this fig at all. This is about a 4-year-old tree in ground. You can see the size of it. We trim it at the end of the year, but it's survived over the last 2 winters without any cold damage. So nicest thing about it is the fig ripens in about 64 days. This year it's 64. It's a little bit ahead of Improved Celeste and Ronde de Bordeaux this year. Usually it's between those three to see which one's going to be first. This year it's Floria. So there are a bunch of figs that already are ripe on it. It rained a little bit earlier today, so I already harvested them. So what we're going to do is go over to the table and have a tasting. Okay, welcome back. So here we are ready for our Floria tasting. So one thing I'm going to mention is I've picked 5 figs. The 4 on the left are uncaprified. The one on the right is one that I caprified with fig pollen. We're going to test to see if it's actually caprified. You can see this one seems to be a little bit more plump, but the way to test that is to take some of the seeds and put them in water, and if they sink, they're viable, they're caprified. So we're going to do that when we do our tasting over here. Here you can see the typical Floria. It's a purplish fig, Etna sized. We'll get a weight on it real quick for you over here. And set that to grams. And that's 18 grams. Next one, 17 grams. So you can see it's about an 18-gram fig. So let's cut them open after I weigh the caprified one. This one is a little bit bigger, 22 grams, so it's looking promising. So let's have a look at the inside of our Floria. Okay, and here it is. You can see it. Kind of a blush on the inside. You can see it's well ripened. The wall of the fig is nice and thin, so we did a good job of ripening that one. Let's cut open the caprified one, see if we have a difference. Don't see much of a difference at this point. There's a cavity in this one over here. I don't see too many seeds. There are a few though, so we'll put some in the water and see if they float or sink. See if we can grab a couple. There we go. We should grab a handful of them, so we'll try to grab a few more. Okay, give it a stir. You have to make sure you get the fig center, the pulp off of the seeds as well, because that will cause them to sink. So I see a few floating, and it looks like there might be a couple on the bottom. I'm going to grab a couple more. The more you put in, the easier you can tell. Okay, and yes, we do have some that are on top, some that are on the bottom. It's kind of hard to see in this light. But let's taste. So here we have Floria uncaprified. It's predominantly sweet, really kind of a one-note sweet, which is very typical of the Floria. I'm not getting any berry. To me, it's just a sweet fig. Caprified. Has a little bit, I would say, of an acidicness to it, which means it kind of, you can taste it in your salivary gland a little bit. It's almost like eating a little bit of a sweet tart along with the fig. It's good. The one thing with the Floria is because it's such a fast ripening fig, when you caprify it, the fig is already 30 to 40 days on the tree. And since it's ripening at 64 days, you only get an additional couple, 2-3 weeks for the pollen to actually be in the fig. So these, they wind up being, I guess, partially caprified, maybe not as caprified as a fig that's a 90-day fig where you have a longer time period while the pollen is inside the fig. We'll have more of these ripening, so hopefully we'll see back on the tree, we'll see some of the caprified examples in the not so distant future. But thanks for watching, everybody, and happy figging.